In many TV shows, what appears on screen is often carefully edited to fit the story, but sometimes a mistake slips through and remains unedited. In the classic series Leave It to Beaver, there is a particular scene that has gained attention because it shows a small typo or error that was never corrected. Rumors suggest that during filming, a funny mistake was caught on camera, but instead of fixing it, the crew left it in. When viewers watch closely, they notice something unusual or amusing that wasn't meant to be part of the scene. This discovery has become a favorite among fans who enjoy spotting these hidden outtakes and forgotten moments. The real charm comes from seeing how even in well-produced shows, imperfections can slip by, making the footage more authentic and fun to watch. This scene stands out because it reminds viewers that behind the polished appearance of classic TV is often a bit of genuine humor or human error. As we examine this particular unedited moment, you'll see what makes it so unique and why fans love to look closer at these behind-the-scenes. Leaving a lasting mark on television history, Leave It to Beaver is a classic TV show that first aired in 1957 and continued until 1963. During these years, the series offered viewers a charming and humorous look at life in the American suburbs. The story centered around the Cleaver family, focusing mainly on the young boy named Theodore Beaver Cleaver. Many episodes portrayed Beaver's everyday adventures and mischievous moments, highlighting the innocence and simplicity of childhood during the 1950s. The show also featured his older brother Wally, their parents Ward, and June Cleaver, who helped shape the image of an ideal family living in a peaceful suburb. What made Leave It to Beaver special was its ability to reflect family values, morals, and social norms of the time, while still being entertaining and relatable. The humor often came from Beaver's innocent misunderstandings and lessons he learned along the way. The series became well-loved because it showed a wholesome family environment, emphasizing kindness, honesty, and the importance of family bonds. Even years after it ended, the show remained popular through reruns and influenced many future television programs that aimed to depict family life with warmth and humor. The character of Beaver, in particular, became an icon of childhood innocence, and the show's portrayal of family life helped define the American cultural ideal of the 1950s. Its legacy continues today as a beloved example of television that combined comedy with meaningful life lessons, making it a timeless part of American TV history. Many fans enjoy spotting mistakes and errors in the episodes of Leave It to Beaver, especially since the show has been remembered fondly for its portrayal of family life in the 1950s and early 1960s. One notable error occurs in a 1963 episode when June Cleaver looks at a calendar, and it clearly shows the year 1961. This indicates that the props department forgot to update the calendar for the newer episodes, which is a common mistake in many TV shows, especially when they aim to keep consistency over multiple seasons. Such errors sometimes slip past the set designers and editors, but fans often notice them and point them out as fun little bloopers. Additionally, there are some issues with the ages of the characters, particularly Wally and Beaver Cleaver. Throughout the series, Wally ages by approximately 5 years, which creates a timeline inconsistency. This means that Wally's age seems to jump during different episodes without explanation, suggesting that the show's timeline was a bit flexible or fuzzy. On the other hand, Beaver's age stays quite consistent, which makes him seem more stable in age. This difference between the two brothers' aging patterns highlights what some fans call fuzzy math in the show's timeline, where the logic of time and age progression doesn't always perfectly match reality or the show's internal continuity. Despite these errors, fans continue to enjoy Leave It to Beaver for its wholesome humor and nostalgic view of family life, often searching for these small mistakes as a fun part of watching. These errors do not diminish the show's charm, but they do give viewers something extra to notice and discuss, keeping the series lively in memory even decades after it first aired. In the 1957 TV series Leave It to Beaver, there is a story called Literary Mix-Up that features a funny mistake made by Wally's friend Eddie. In this episode, Eddie talks about a book called 2 Years Before the Mast, but he makes a mistake when he mentions who wrote it. He incorrectly says that Charles Dana is the author. However, the real author of the book is Richard Henry Dana Jr. This mix-up shows that the script has a factual error because the characters are discussing a famous book, but get the author's name wrong. The book 2 Years Before the Mast is well known and was written by Richard Henry Dana Jr., based on his own experiences at sea. This small mistake in the story highlights how even in television shows, sometimes facts can get mixed up. The episode's humor and charm partly come from these little errors, which remind viewers that the characters are everyday people who can make mistakes too. Even though it is a small error, it is noticeable to those who know the real facts about the book and its author. The episode remains funny and memorable because of moments like this, and it shows how the show treated factual details with a light touch. Overall, Literary Mix-Up gives a glimpse of a common mistake in everyday conversations, making the characters seem more relatable and human. The show, set in the 1950s, often focused on family and school life, so these small goofs added a touch of real life to it. Many believe that Leave It to Beaver was a simple family show, but its heart and charm came from the real-life experiences of its creators. The show's writers, Joe Connolly and Bob Moser, used their own childhood memories to shape the stories and characters. They wanted to make sure the scenes felt true to life, capturing the innocence and humor of everyday family life. Their goal was to present situations that viewers could relate to, scenes that reflected honest moments between parents and children, brothers and sisters, and neighbors. By drawing from real events and personal stories, they created characters that felt genuine and approachable. This approach made the show more engaging, and heartfelt in audiences saw their own lives reflected on the screen, often with a touch of humor that made the scenes warm and funny. The authenticity of these stories is what made Leave It to Beaver popular for many years. It became a beloved classic because it showed family life in a simple, honest way, inspired directly by the real experiences of its creators. The show stays memorable because it feels real and touches on universal themes of childhood, family, and growing up. Through their personal memories, Connolly and Moser brought a special authenticity to the stories that continue to resonate with viewers today. While watching the TV series Leave It to Beaver, many viewers admired Barbara Billingsley's portrayal of June Cleaver, a caring and understanding mother. She brought a special kind of realism to her role because she had real-life experience with parenting, which helped her act naturally and convincingly. Billingsley often shared her own thoughts and advice about how a mother should behave in different situations, and this made her character even more trustworthy. Many parents watched the show and saw a reflection of what they believed a good mother should be. Her advice and approach to parenting were seen in the way her character handled everyday problems, always staying calm, patient, and kind. This authenticity gave the show extra depth and made June Cleaver more than just a character. She became a symbol of the ideal mother during that time. Because of her influence, the role of mothers on television was often seen as a guiding and nurturing figure, shaped partly by Billingsley's own insights. Her involvement in the show went beyond acting, and her real-life wisdom contributed to the warm, family-oriented feel that made Leave It to Beaver special and memorable. Readers can see how her influence helped shape the portrayal of mothers on television, making her a respected and admired figure to many viewers. Her legacy as June Cleaver remains significant because of the genuine care she brought to her role, which resonated with audiences and left a lasting impact on how family life was depicted. Knowing that Hugh Beaumont, who played Ward Cleaver, was a minister in real life adds depth to his acting. His background in religion and community service helped him bring wisdom, kindness, and a sense of morality to his role on the show. This genuine sincerity made Ward a trustworthy and caring father figure for the audience. Beaumont's experience as a minister suited the character's calm and thoughtful demeanor, making Ward Cleaver a symbol of good values and family stability during the time the show aired. Meanwhile, Jerry Mathers, who portrayed Beaver, was chosen for his natural, honest demeanor that fit the role perfectly. When he auditioned for the part, he arrived in a Cub Scout uniform, not to impress with fancy clothes or special tricks, but simply because that was who he was. His straightforward attitude and genuine charm stood out, allowing him to connect with the casting team without trying to be someone he was not. This simplicity and authenticity helped Mathers land the role, as he genuinely embodied the honest, curious, and sometimes mischievous nature of Beaver. The fact that he appeared in his scout uniform during the audition showed he was comfortable being himself, which translated well to the character he played. Both Beaumont and Mathers brought authenticity to their roles, which made the series feel real and relatable to viewers. Their backgrounds and approach to auditioning contributed greatly to the success of Leave It to Beaver, a show that continues to be remembered for its portrayal of everyday family life. After the success of the first episode, it became clear that the character of Beaver Cleaver, played by Jerry Mathers, was captivating and funny in a way that could carry the show. Originally, the show was almost called Wally and the Beaver, which reflected the initial idea of focusing on the relationship and adventures of the two brothers, Wally and Beaver Cleaver. The creators wanted to highlight the bond between the brothers and the everyday challenges they faced growing up in a typical American family. However, once the first episode aired, it was evident that Beaver's curious and mischievous behavior had a charm that drew viewers' attention. His antics, often innocent but sometimes causing trouble, made the character very relatable and endearing to the audience. As a result, the show's focus shifted to emphasize Beaver's adventures and misadventures, making the story more centered on him. This change led to the decision to retitle the series Leave It to Beaver, a name that better represented the humorous and wholesome nature of the show. The new title perfectly captured the idea that despite Beaver's sometimes troublesome deeds, his family and friends were there to guide him and help him through everyday life. Overall, the show became a classic example of family entertainment, showcasing the humorous side of childhood and the importance of family support. The title change reflected the show's true essence, which was centered on Beaver's experiences and the loving, supportive environment of his family. In 1957, the pilot episode of the television series Leave It to Beaver was titled It's a Small World and marked the beginning of a classic show that would become beloved for its portrayal of everyday family life. This first episode was not originally part of its own series, but was broadcast as part of an anthology series called Studio 57, which featured different standalone stories. The episode introduced viewers to the main characters and the setting of the series, showcasing the typical suburban life of the late 1950s. Interestingly, in this initial version, the character dynamics were slightly different from what would later become standard. The relationships among the characters and their personalities had some minor differences, reflecting an early development stage of the show's concept. One notable aspect of this pilot episode is that Harry Shearer had a minor role before he gained fame for his work on The Simpsons. Although his part was small, it is a point of interest for fans and television historians because it connects the early days of the actor's career to his later, more prominent roles. The episode was titled It's a Small World, emphasizing themes of childhood innocence and the small interconnected world that the young characters navigated. Since it was part of an anthology series, it had a different format than the dedicated series that would follow. The pilot's airing helped establish the tone and style of Leave It to Beaver, which focused on moral lessons, family values, and relatable childhood experiences. Over time, the show would solidify its place as a television classic, known for its gentle humor and enduring portrayal of family life. Overall, the pilot episode's background provides insight into the show's origins and evolution, showing how it started as a small part of a broader series before becoming an iconic standalone program. The initial character setups and the minor appearance of Harry Shearer are small but interesting details that connect the early iteration of Leave It to Beaver to its future success. The episode's premiere in 1957 marked the beginning of a series that would influence many television shows about family and childhood. After that, viewers saw that Barbara Billingsley used various tricks to appear taller on screen because her character's on-screen sons grew up during the series, and she needed to maintain the visual balance of the family. She often wore higher heels to give herself extra height, and sometimes stood on platforms to look taller or hid behind furniture to create the illusion of being closer in height to her children. These subtle tricks helped keep the family dynamic believable for the audience. Meanwhile, in the episode called Captain Jack, the show made a groundbreaking move by showing a toilet tank on television, breaking new taboos about what could be shown on screen. This was the first time such an item had been displayed, marking an important moment in TV history. The scene was seen as daring at the time because many networks avoided displaying anything related to bathrooms on television, fearing it would be considered inappropriate. However, Leave It to Beaver was willing to push the boundaries a little, bringing a sense of realism into their family stories. The decision to show the toilet tank not only reflected changes in TV standards, but also helped to make the show more authentic, showing everyday household objects that people recognized. These moments are remembered as key examples of how Leave It to Beaver influenced television, blending humor, family values, and progress in broadcasting. The series, which started in 1957, remains popular today because of its honest portrayal of family life and its willingness to challenge old norms. After the success of the 1957 TV series Leave It to Beaver, few people knew about the personal struggles Hugh Beaumont faced behind the scenes. During the filming of the show, Hugh Beaumont's family was involved in a terrible car accident while they were traveling to Los Angeles. This accident was especially tragic because it resulted in the death of his mother-in-law. Such a loss was incredibly heartbreaking for Hugh and his family, and brought a deep pain that he carried with him even as he worked on the show. The grief and sadness from this tragedy affected him strongly, and many believe it added a layer of somberness to his portrayal of Ward Cleaver, the caring father in Leave It to Beaver. Despite the joy and warmth the series brought to audiences, Hugh Beaumont's personal tragedy reminds us that actors often experience hardships behind the camera. His ability to continue playing his role with strength and dignity showed his resilience, even as he dealt with a profound loss. The tragedy had a lasting impact on him, shaping not only his personal life, but also how he approached his work on television. Though he remained professional and committed to his role, viewers and fans who knew about his loss could sense a quiet sadness in his eyes that reflected his grief. His experience reminds us that behind every character, there is a real person facing life's ups and downs. The accident and the loss of his mother-in-law left a mark on Hugh Beaumont's life that he carried with him for a long time, influencing both his personal journey and his performances. At first, Leave It to Beaver faced many difficulties when it first aired in 1957. The show struggled to attract viewers and had low ratings during its initial run. Because of this lack of success, CBS decided to cancel the series after its first season, believing it was not meeting expectations or gaining enough popularity. However, the story of Leave It to Beaver did not end there. Later, the show was picked up by ABC, which saw potential in the series. When ABC took over, they moved the show to a more favorable time slot, which allowed more viewers to watch it. This change made a big difference, and the show's popularity grew quickly. The move to a better time slot helped the series become more watched and appreciated by families. It became a beloved show, reaching a wider audience and gaining a strong, loyal fan base. The early struggles with low ratings and cancellation did not stop Leave It to Beaver from becoming a classic television series that is still remembered today. Its revival showed how a change in time slot and audience opportunity can turn around a struggling show, transforming it into a cultural icon that depicted family life in a simple and honest way. Because the television series Leave It to Beaver aired during the late 1950s, many viewers became curious about the setting of the show, especially the town of Mayfield, where the Cleaver family resided. Interestingly, the creators of the series deliberately kept the location of Mayfield vague throughout the entire run of the show. This deliberate choice meant that the writers did not specify whether Mayfield was in one particular state or region. Instead, they left clues throughout the scripts that allowed viewers to imagine the town in different ways. Some clues suggested that Mayfield could be in Wisconsin, a state known for its small towns and friendly communities. Others pointed towards California, a place many associate with the Hollywood lifestyle and warm, sunny weather. Because of this ambiguity, viewers felt free to picture Mayfield as their own hometown, making the show more personal and relatable. The decision to keep the location ambiguous added a universal charm to the series, allowing people from many parts of the country to connect with the stories and characters. Despite the different interpretations, the show's focus remained on the everyday life and family values of the Cleavers, with the setting serving as a flexible backdrop that could belong to any small town across America. This mystery about Mayfield's true location contributed to the show's timeless appeal, as it allowed viewers to see their own communities reflected in the stories of Beaver, Ward, and June Cleaver. The show's subtle hints and clues left behind ample room for speculation, which many fans enjoyed debating about for years. Whether in Wisconsin, California, or an unknown Midwestern town, Mayfield became a symbol of American small-town life, embodying the simplicity, innocence, and warmth that the series celebrated. Over time, the mystery of Mayfield's location enhanced the show's charm, making it a beloved classic that continues to evoke feelings of nostalgia and familiarity. Initially, the creators of Leave It to Beaver made a conscious decision to focus on humor that was gentle and kind, avoiding jokes that would make people laugh loudly or feel entertained in a loud way. Instead, they aimed for humor that was soft, tender, and matched the show's overall feeling of warmth and simplicity. This approach helped the show stand out because it centered on relatable family moments and everyday situations that everyone could understand and enjoy quietly. The producers believed that this kind of humor created a more genuine connection with viewers and reflected the true spirit of family life. Furthermore, Leave It to Beaver became one of the first television series to have a proper ending that was planned and respectful to its audience. Instead of ending abruptly or with an unresolved story, the show concluded with an episode called Family Scrapbook. In this episode, the Cleaver family sat together, looked back on their past adventures, and shared memories from previous episodes. This final episode was special because it allowed the audience to see the family reflect on their experiences and feel a sense of closure. It set an important precedent by showing that TV shows could have meaningful conclusions, inspiring future series to end on their own terms, with a heartfelt farewell that honored the story and care. Since its debut in 1957, the television series Leave It to Beaver became a beloved show that captured the innocence and simplicity of family life in the 1950s. However, despite the growing interest in color television during that time, the creators and producers decided to keep the show in black and white. This decision was made to preserve the nostalgic feel that many viewers cherished, as black and white images created a sense of warmth and familiarity that suited the show's wholesome tone. Moreover, shooting in color would have brought about higher production costs, which some producers wanted to avoid to keep the show affordable and accessible. The challenges of color filming at that time included the need for special equipment, additional lighting, and longer filming times, which could complicate the production process. By remaining in black and white, Leave It to Beaver continued to look simple and charming, allowing viewers to focus on the characters and stories without distraction. This choice helped the show maintain its nostalgic appeal, reminding everyone of an earlier, more straightforward era. The decision to stay in black and white also aligned with the technological limitations of the era, as color television was still not widespread among average households. As a result, the show's black and white presentation became a defining feature, endearing it to generations of viewers who saw it as a window into a bygone time. Even as color TV gained popularity in later decades, Leave It to Beaver remained faithful to its original style in reruns and syndication, continuing to evoke feelings of comfort and nostalgia. This decision ultimately contributed to the show's enduring charm and classic status in television history. After the show ended, the cast of Leave It to Beaver moved on to various endeavors. Jerry Mathers, who played Beaver, attempted to join the Marines, but his fame made it difficult for him to do so. Despite his desire to serve, his recognition as a child star kept him from enlisting. Tony Dow, who portrayed Wally Cleaver, found it hard to escape the shadow of his role and struggled with typecasting, which limited some of his acting opportunities. However, he found a new path behind the camera and became a TV director, directing episodes for different shows. Barbara Billingsley, who played the mother June Cleaver, continued to embrace her beloved role beyond the series. She appeared in reunion shows and spin-offs, always explaining her character's values and personality. She was proud to be June Cleaver and kept her connection to the family she helped portray. The cast members each faced their own challenges after the show, but they found ways to stay connected to their careers or memories of their time on Leave It to Beaver. Their lives showed different paths, some in front of the camera, some behind it, and others embracing the legacy of the show in special appearances. Despite ending many decades ago, Leave It to Beaver continues to be admired by many. This TV show is still popular today because people enjoy watching its episodes through reruns on television. Older viewers, who remember the show from when it first aired, often feel nostalgic and happy to revisit the stories and characters they loved. Meanwhile, younger audiences who may not have seen the series before discover it for the first time and find it charming and funny. The show's simple stories about a boy named Beaver, his brother Wally, and their family reflect everyday life in a way that feels real and relatable. Its gentle humor and wholesome themes make it a show that can be enjoyed across generations. Many viewers find comfort in its familiar scenes and timeless values, which avoid modern complications and focus on family, honesty, and kindness. Because of this enduring appeal, Leave It to Beaver remains a beloved part of television history, appreciated by people of all ages and backgrounds. Its influence can still be seen today in how families and TV creators view family life and storytelling. The show's popularity through reruns shows that its message and humor continue to resonate with audiences, making it a cherished classic. Its ability to connect with viewers age after age proves how timeless its appeal truly is. As we wrap up our look into Leave It to Beaver, there's still more to uncover beneath the surface. Now, get ready to explore the lives of the talented cast who brought these beloved characters to life. What happened to them after the cameras stopped rolling? Some found new paths in Hollywood, while others chose different journeys away from the spotlight. You'll discover surprising stories of fame, change, and what became of these familiar faces. This behind-the-scenes look will reveal secrets, memories, and the lasting impact of their roles in this iconic series. Stay tuned, because what happens next might just change how you see this classic show forever. The stories are intriguing, the outcomes unexpected, and the insight into their lives after the series ends is truly captivating. Prepare for an eye-opening continuation that will deepen your appreciation for Leave It to Beaver and the faces behind its charm. Veronica Cartwright portrayed Violet Rutherford in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver, a role that placed her in the spotlight at a young age. Her character was part of the intricate social fabric of the show's suburban setting, representing a young woman navigating the expectations and pressures of post-war America. Cartwright's performance was noted for its innocence and subtle complexity, which hinted at the emerging depth of her acting talent. After the series ended, her career expanded into film and television, where she took on roles that often challenged her image, reflecting her desire for artistic growth. Amid her rise, Cartwright faced personal hardships, including the devastating loss of her father, an experience that cast a long shadow over her life. Her career was occasionally marred by controversies, including rumors of conflicts on set and struggles with Hollywood's dark side, which she rarely publicly acknowledged. She faced the harsh realities of sustaining a career in a ruthless industry, compounded by health issues that dogged her later years. Her life was punctuated by periods of silence, suggesting battles with depression and the weight of fame. As of the latest reports, Veronica Cartwright remains a figure shrouded in mystery, with her current whereabouts unknown, leaving her story open-ended. Her journey is a reminder of the fragile line between childhood fame and personal resilience. Hugh Beaumont's portrayal of Ward Cleaver made him a symbol of the idealized American father in the late 1950s. As Ward, he embodied stability, morality, and a guiding presence for both his family and viewers. Beaumont's calm, authoritative demeanor contrasted sharply with the sometimes chaotic life of television characters, giving many families a reassuring figure amid the tumult of post-war America. Yet behind the calm facade, Beaumont's life held shadows that few knew. His career after Leave It to Beaver was marked by a series of struggles, including financial difficulties, and a career that failed to reach the same heights off-screen. Beaumont faced personal hardships that darkened his legacy. He endured the tragic death of his wife, which plunged him into profound grief and instability. There were also whispers of personal conflicts and struggles with depression. Rumors circulated about a turbulent marriage and mental health issues, yet concrete details remain elusive, cloaked in speculation. Beaumont's later years were marred by physical decline and financial strain. He passed away in 1982 at the age of 73, largely forgotten by the public, but haunted by the weight of his personal and professional disappointments. Recent reports reveal few details about his final days, leaving his true personal story shrouded in mystery. The image of the steadfast father remains, but the shadows that followed Hugh Beaumont hint at complexities beyond the screen. Marjorie Reynolds portrayed Mistress Murdoch in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver, a role that cast her as a steady, guiding presence within the grounded suburban setting. Her character served as a moral compass and a symbol of traditional family values during the show's golden age. Yet her portrayal was brief and overshadowed by her subsequent career struggles. After her stint on the series, Reynolds' life was marked by a series of personal hardships. She faced financial difficulties, losing her acting opportunities as her career declined amid Hollywood's changing landscape and the rise of new stars. Rumors circulated of personal scandals involving her relationships, although concrete details remain elusive, fueling speculation of a tumultuous private life. Reynolds' health deteriorated in later years, compounded by the hardships she endured, orbiting the shadows of her earlier fame. Her final years were marked by isolation, and she faded from public view completely. The last known information suggests she lived quietly in a nursing home until her death, with little public recognition of her contributions. Her story remains a reminder of fleeting fame and the darker realities behind Hollywood's shining star. Stanley Fafara portrayed Whitey Whitney in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver, a role that brought early fame, but also cast a long shadow over his life. Known for his innocent, mischievous character, Whitey was a boy with a complex mixture of charm and vulnerability, qualities that Fafara embodied with conviction. However, behind the scenes, Fafara's life took a darker turn. After the show's success, Fafara struggled with substance abuse and personal demons that disrupted his career and well-being. He reportedly faced financial difficulties and legal issues, which added to the secrecy and mystery surrounding his later years. Unlike many of his peers, Fafara's life was marked by hardship that seemed to contradict his wholesome on-screen persona. Rumors speak of failed marriages, periods of social withdrawal, and a reputation haunted by past mistakes. The most intriguing aspect is how he vanished from the public eye completely, with little news or acknowledgement of his whereabouts after the early 1960s. The last known information suggests he withdrew from the entertainment industry entirely, living a quiet, private life. Today, details remain scarce, leaving his true story shrouded in mystery, a stark reminder that childhood fame does not shield from life's darker realities. Tony Dow's portrayal of Wally Cleaver in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver etched him into the fabric of American television history. Wally was the embodiment of the ideal older brother, responsible, steady, and a figure of admiration for many young viewers. Dow's performance brought a quiet depth to the character, making him more than just a TV sibling, but a symbol of a wholesome, innocent era. After the show's end, Dow's life was far from smooth. He faced numerous personal hardships, including struggles with health that haunted him for decades. In recent years, Dow battled serious health issues, including a diagnosis of liver cancer in 2021, which he fought publicly with stoic dignity. His career saw moments of artistic pursuit beyond acting, but was overshadowed by legal disputes, including allegations that he was unfairly removed from his roles and parts of his career. The darkness deepened as private difficulties emerged. Family losses and health crises cast long shadows. Despite these shadows, Dow maintained a quiet resilience, refusing to be defined solely by his troubled times. The latest reports reveal that Tony Dow passed away in 2022, amid a cloud of quiet reflection and recognition of a life marked by both bright moments and profound. John Hoyt portrayed the role of a clothier in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver, a character that, while minor, reflected the era's social fabric and the American middle class. Hoyt's appearance in the series anchored his reputation as a reliable character actor, yet his career extended beyond this single role. Throughout his career, he was known for playing authoritative figures, often embodying a stern or condescending presence. After the show ended, Hoyt's life was tinged with a certain darkness that rarely made headlines. Rumors of personal hardships circulated quietly, hinting at struggles with health and financial instability that haunted him in later years. His career, once steady and respected, faded into obscurity amid Hollywood's relentless change. There are unverified reports suggesting he faced scandals involving alleged misconduct or personal secrets that strained his relationships and reputation. His later years were marked by isolation, and little was known about his final days. The last confirmed information places John Hoyt living in a quiet part of California, out of the public eye. The precise details of his death remain unconfirmed, shrouded in mystery, leaving many to wonder about the true toll his life took after the cameras stopped rolling. Richard Deacon's portrayal of Fred Rutherford in the 1957 TV series Leave It to Beaver left a lasting mark on American television. His character, Fred, was a somewhat stern but loving father figure. Fred was often seen in comedic exchanges with his son, Clarence, offering guidance and discipline, a role that Deacon played with a striking balance of authority and warmth. His performance helped define the show's wholesome family dynamics, while subtly hinting at the complexities of parental relationships. This role marked a peak in Deacon's career, making him a recognizable face in American homes. However, after Leave It to Beaver ended, Deacon's career took a different direction. He found it challenging to land roles that would match the success of Fred Rutherford. Although he continued to appear in numerous TV shows, his post-Beaver career lacked the consistency and visibility that defined his earlier years. Beyond his professional life, Deacon faced personal struggles that were rarely visible to the public eye. He battled depression and struggled with alcoholism, issues that seemed to shadow him as his career waned. His personal life was turbulent, marked by a series of failed relationships and strained friendships within the industry. Despite his once promising career, Deacon's legacy became more tied to his private hardships than to his on-screen success. In the latter part of his life, Richard Deacon moved away from the spotlight, retreating from acting and public engagements. He lived a quiet life in relative obscurity, battling the demons that had plagued him for years. His final years are largely undocumented, with very little information emerging about his health or the circumstances of his passing. Some accounts suggest he lived alone, far removed from the industry that had once celebrated him. The details surrounding his death remain unclear, and little is known about his final days, adding an air of mystery to the story of a man who had once captured the hearts of millions as a beloved television father. Don Hart portrayed a construction worker in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver, a role that highlighted his ability to embody everyday blue-collar characters with authenticity. His presence on the show was brief but memorable, often representing the working-class backbone of mid-20th century America. Following that role, Hart's career took a darker turn as he struggled with typecasting, which limited his opportunities in Hollywood. Rumors circulated that Hart became increasingly reclusive, disillusioned by the superficial nature of show business, and his own inability to escape the shadow of his early television work. Personal hardships soon followed. Reports suggest Aaron suffered from substance abuse problems, which strained his relationships and led to periods of homelessness and financial instability. There are whispers of scandals involving criminal associations, though credible evidence remains scarce, fueling speculation about his true life behind the scenes. In his later years, Hart withdrew from the public eye entirely, leaving little trace of his final days. The last confirmed information indicates that he passed away quietly in the early 2000s, with no family or close friends publicly speaking about his final years or the cause of his death. His life remains shrouded in mystery, a reminder of the fleeting nature of fame and the personal battles often hidden behind the camera's glow. Buddy Joe Hooker portrayed Chester Anderson in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver, a role that placed him at the heart of one of the most iconic representations of American suburban life. His character was a typical mischievous boy, embodying the innocence and trouble that defined childhood during that era. However, Hooker's own life outside the spotlight was far more complex and shadowed by adversity. After the series ended, his career stagnated, and he faced mounting personal hardships rooted in substance abuse and financial instability that plagued much of his later years. Rumors circulate about legal troubles, including distant reports of arrests and allegations that tarnished his reputation. Though official records remain unclear or unverified, his health reportedly declined significantly in the 1960s and 1970s, leading to periods of obscurity and social isolation. The details of his final years are shrouded in mystery, with few reliable sources offering a clear picture of his passing or current whereabouts. Some speculate he disappeared from public view entirely, living quietly away from the limelight, haunted perhaps by the ghosts of his past. His story serves as a stark reminder of how fleeting fame can be, leaving behind a legacy intertwined with personal struggle and unresolved darkness. Barbara Billingsley became forever known as June Cleaver, the quintessential suburban mother in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver. Her portrayal embodied the idealized image of maternal elegance, moral strength, and domestic perfection that defined American culture in the 1950s. She was the smoothing, nurturing presence whose calm demeanor masked underlying societal pressures and personal sacrifices. Beyond her role on screen, Billingsley's career was marked by a desire to avoid typecasting, yet she remained primarily associated with this iconic character for decades. Her life outside of television was more complex. She faced personal hardships, including embracing her faith and overcoming early career struggles after the show's end. Rumors circulated about her private life, though she carefully maintained her family's privacy, leading to speculation about personal scandals that never fully emerged. In her later years, Billingsley struggled with health issues, including a stroke in 1997, which limited her public appearances. Her final years were marked by quiet reflection, and she passed away in 2013 at the age of 94. Last reports indicate she remained a respected figure, remembered both for her beloved role and her silent resilience amidst life's many. Frank Wilcox portrayed a stern and authoritative district court judge in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver. His role was marked by an icy demeanor and a commanding presence, which added an edge of seriousness to the storylines. Wilcox's character embodied the moral authority of the law, but the portrayal also hinted at the darker side of justice, strict, unyielding, and often uncompromising. Behind the scenes, Wilcox's career spanned decades, primarily in film and television, but his personal life was shrouded in mystery and hardship. There are rumors of personal struggles, including reports of financial difficulties later in life, which contrasted sharply with his on-screen persona of control and authority. Some sources suggest he faced scandals that tarnished his reputation, though details remain scarce and unconfirmed, adding an almost haunting quality to his legacy. Wilcox's final years were marked by obscurity, with few public records about his later life or death. The last verified information indicates he retired quietly from the industry, leaving behind a legacy of powerful but enigmatic performances. His life remains a compelling story of a man who played a figure of justice on screen, but was himself clouded by unseen personal battles. Ken Osmond is best known for his role as Eddie Haskell on the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver. His portrayal of Eddie, the sneaky and sly friend of Wally Cleaver, made him a symbol of the cunning young troublemaker in suburban America. Osmond's Eddie appeared as charming and polite on the surface, but often harbored a mischievous streak that caused trouble behind the scenes. This character type appealed to audiences and became a cultural icon, but behind the scenes, Osmond's life was filled with struggles. After the show's end, his acting career stalled. He faced financial hardships and tried to break free from his typecast image, but was largely unsuccessful. In later years, Osmond struggled with personal issues, including battles with addiction and the effects of a motorcycle accident that left him with injuries. He was also deeply affected by the violent death of his son in 2010, which added profound sorrow to his life. Rumors circulated about financial difficulties and periods of homelessness. Despite his fame, Osmond's personal life was marked by hardship and tragedy. The last known reports indicate that he retired from public life, living quietly in Southern California, away from the spotlight, haunted by past battles and personal loss. His story remains a haunting reminder of the often dark side behind childhood stardom. Jerry Mathers gained fame as the Beaver in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver, a role that made him a household name and symbolized innocence and childhood. As the Beaver, Mathers embodied a naive, curious boy navigating the complexities of everyday life in 1950s America. His portrayal was both endearing and iconic, capturing the essence of American childhood and earning him fan admiration. However, behind the camera, Mathers faced the pressures of fame at a young age, which haunted him long after the series ended. The show's success did not shield him from personal struggles, including difficulties adapting to life beyond the limelight, struggles common among child stars. In adulthood, Mathers encountered setbacks, including financial hardships and feelings of being trapped by his childhood image. Rumors circulate about periods of depression, struggles with identity, and difficulties maintaining a stable career afterward. Despite these challenges, Mathers continued to work intermittently in the entertainment industry, mostly in small roles and TV appearances. The most recent information indicates that Mathers has kept a relatively low profile in recent years, avoiding the spotlight and living a private life. The true extent of his personal hardships remains largely undisclosed, adding an air of mystery around his life beyond the cheerful image of the Beaver. Madge Blake portrayed Mistress Margaret Mondello in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver, a role that briefly placed her in the homes of American families. Her character was a secondary figure, yet her presence added depth to the show's portrayal of suburban life. Blake's career was extensive, spanning stage, film, and television, but her most lasting recognition remains tied to her television work. After Leave It to Beaver ended, her life was marked by personal hardships and periods of obscurity. Known for her gentle demeanor on screen, her personal life was less idyllic. She reportedly struggled with health issues later in life, which contributed to her retreat from public view. Rumors suggest she faced difficulties balancing her career with personal hardships, including financial strains and health crises. There were no widely documented scandals, but her later years were shadowed by sadness and physical decline. The last confirmed reports about Blake indicate she lived quietly in her final years, away from the spotlight. Her death remains unpublicized for many years, leaving her life shrouded in mystery. Despite this, her contribution to early television remains a testament to her talent. no recent updates have surfaced about her, leaving her legacy to history and her performances to be appreciated by those who remember her. Stephen Talbot played Gilbert Bates in the 1957 television series Leave It to Beaver. His character was a well-intentioned, but often naive boy, representing the typical suburban youth of that era. Talbot's portrayal captured the innocence and curiosity of childhood during the 1950s, anchoring a role that became iconic in American television history. Beyond acting, Talbot's career took a different path as he became a documentary filmmaker, focusing on social issues and history. While his time on Leave It to Beaver was brief, it marked the beginning of a lifelong fascination with storytelling. In his personal life, Talbot faced periods of hardship and controversy. There are reports of struggles with mental health that he kept private for many years, adding a layer of mystery to his persona. Some sources suggest he had conflicts with the industry, possibly due to the shifting nature of fame and the pressures of early success. His life was also marked by periods of withdrawal from public view, fueling speculation about his true well-being. Throughout his later years, Talbot maintained a quiet, elusive presence, rarely sharing details about his personal challenges publicly. The last known information about Stephen Talbot indicates that he continued his work behind the camera, exploring the social fabric of America through his documentaries. He has been recognized for his contributions to journalism and historical work, earning awards for his dedication. Despite the shadows that sometimes follow former child stars, Talbot's more recent years appear stable, though he remains a figure surrounded by intrigue. The full extent of his current life remains largely private, leaving questions about his ongoing journey. Buchanan portrayed Captain Jack in the 1957 TV series Leave It to Beaver, a character who was remembered for his stern authority and mysterious, sometimes ambiguous nature. Buchanan's role was brief but impactful, adding a layer of gravitas to the series. Known mainly for his warm, humorous characters, this role marked a rare departure into darker, more complex territory, hinting at a man with secrets behind his commanding exterior. After the show ended, Buchanan's career moved through stages of declining roles, often overshadowed by personal struggles that few knew at the time. His life was riddled with hardship, including a serious battle with alcoholism that caused public and private turmoil, and allegations of personal misconduct that damaged his reputation. These scandals not only affected his career trajectory, but also cast dark shadows over his personal life, forcing him to confront silence and shame. In his later years, Buchanan faced significant health issues, battling heart disease and the decline of his mobility. The last known information about him indicates that he withdrew from public life, living quietly in California until his death. His final moments remain shrouded in mystery, with some reports suggesting he faced these challenges alone, leaving behind a complex legacy marked by talent, hardship, and unspoken ghosts. Leave It to Beaver remains a beloved classic that captured the innocence and simplicity of childhood in the 1950s. Its warm humor and relatable stories continue to resonate with audiences even decades later. The show's influence can still be seen in family television today, and it helped shape the genre with its honest portrayal of everyday life. Many viewers remember watching Beaver and his family grow up on screen, facing small troubles and big lessons with humor and kindness. It reminds us of a time when family values and childhood innocence were at the heart of every episode. Watching it brings a sense of nostalgia and comfort, reminding us of simpler days and the importance of family bonds. Did you watch Leave It to Beaver when you were young? What memories or lessons do you carry from those days? Share your stories in the comments below, and let us know how this classic series influenced your own life or brought a smile to your